everybody. Hope all is well. We'll be starting in a minute here. I know I'm slightly early, but I'm trying to make sure everything's working properly. So, hope it pops up. Let me check my viewer settings. Yeah, it's on. Okay, back to dashboard. There we go. Okay. Hi, this is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show, and I hope everybody's well. Hey, Virginia. How are things in Boston? I hope well. Weather-wise, we've been getting here. We got a heavy rainstorm last night here, so it was so noisy, it scared my poor cat. He dived under the bed covers, like, take me away from all this. Hi Dorothy. How are things in Florida? With all the storms that are trying to pop up, we're in for a wild ride is where we are. Anyway, yesterday I got my brace for this. The swelling on this down here has gone down, which is good. So I'm moving my fingers just a little bit better, but not like where it was before. Oh, I bet patient is looking good. Hope he wasn't giving you a side eye like, why are you taking me to be tortured? Okay. Anyway, like I said, I got the brace yesterday, and I'll be going to see the hand therapist next week to see if there's any adjustments that need to be made. I need to have her make another adjustment on this. But the swelling's gone down on top of my hand where the flexor tendon is. And so my fingers are moving a little bit better, and I'm not in as much pain as I was, okay, because it wasn't being supported. So I'm basically typing with one hand, this hand. So it's a little slower than it normally is. Usually I'm pretty fast, so. Anyway, I don't know if you guys heard on the news, apparently there was a secret meeting with the MAGA or the Republican caucus, and I was like, here they they want transparency. Yep, they don't give the transparency, if you know what I mean. Anyway, they decided to pick Scalise over Jordan for nominee for speaker. They don't like Jordan very well. A lot of people don't, and Stephen Scalise is somewhat liked, but he, it's really hard to say, okay? Because sometimes when you move into a new job, it kind of changes you. It may or may not change him, I don't know. Because being a speaker is a big responsibility, and you have to schedule, votes and everything else, and if I were him, I just let the votes come to the floor and let the House decide on the votes instead of all this political ringing and blocking and things like that. What do you mean afraid of what I say, Virginia? I'm not following your thought on that. But again, we'll just have to wait and see, okay? They need to hurry up on this, they really do, because we got problems in the Middle East. Ukraine needs funding to help fight the war against Putin. Hi, Nancy! And, I got 3 viewers, good. I need more viewers, guys. I need thumbs up. So we need to get that to solve those 2 urgent problems, because I don't want Putin want to put any more of his dirty little fingers in the pies. Okay. Um, I think Scalise is the least of the um, evils, and a lot of them are trying to avoid the spectacle of last January. They really are, and a lot of them are really trying to avoid the megas. And I think they should now kick out the megas and say, or kick them, or force a dissolve, force the Freedom Caucus to dissolve. Okay. Uh, yes, it is a NATO member. It is. And as I said in my um, well, on to the next one. Did you know the word Hamas is a Jewish word that means violence in Jewish, in Hebrew? I didn't know that until now. But it means, Hamas means violence in Hebrew. Um, Hamas should have not attacked Israel. Should have not provoked Israel. And Israel should have done enough to protect the Americans. I know a lot of them are living and working in Palestine to help, if world organizations are helping there and everything. But Hamas made a big mistake of killing some of our Americans there. Okay, they were working there. And kidnapping and everything else. They should nail them for that. So, my thinking is, if prevent any further bloodshed, what they should do is sit down at the table and say, okay, this is the way it's going to be. And if you don't like it, tough. Tell Hamas to disband, stand down, and then make Palestine a separate state and order Israel to get along with Palestine. Because who knows, they might be going after the same goals of prosperity and happiness. Who knows, okay? They need to start getting to know each other and stop all this hate crap that they've been doing the last thousands of years or hundreds of years or whatever. And knock it off, okay? It's not helping anybody. It's not helping the world economy by going to war either. Wars don't really create economies, okay? We need to cut back on the... Yeah, that's right. They're fighting over dirt. And it's stupid. It's really stupid. And those little boys need to grow up. Both sides do. And I did not appreciate Netanyahu going after Palestine and pushing them off Gaza and just doing genocide on the Palestinians. That's wrong too. Okay. Here, yet in the Jewish law, you're not supposed to harm others. Guess what they're doing? They're harming others. And then, of course, Putin needs to stop. Of course, he's losing. He's lost well over 3/4 of his army. Putin has. Russia doesn't have the mighty army as it once has. Okay, because many of the captured munitions from the Ukrainians are turning around using it on the Russian soldiers. And many of the Russian soldiers have defected to Ukraine. Because they just don't want to be under Putin. They felt this war was uncalled for. And it should have not happened. Would Putin listen? No. He just prefers to be a spoiled little 5-year-old boy that wants to get his way. Okay? If Putin doesn't like my comment, well, that's just too bad. I remember him, he was did you know that Putin was a lowly KGB agent back in the 80s? early 80s and 70s. Okay? Well, he got a little taste of power and decided to work his way up to so-called prime minister and then now president, and he tries to make himself president for life in Russia because he likes the power. Well, as I said before a number of times, he needs to be reminded that being a dictator is a very dangerous job, and he can find himself done in. So, it's happened before. Remember, as I said on Monday, you have to remember history on what happened to dictators when they abuse their people. They get done in. They get okay. I don't like violence either, but I don't like dictators. I don't like scammers. I don't like bots. I don't like people that put out misinformation. And I don't know if you watched Stephen Colbert's show. He did a monologue on this, and he says Twitter's now letting misinformation run riot in Twitter. Well, before Twitter became X, which is ludicrous, put the stop to it and said, no, we don't want misinformation because it endangers people. But my question to Elon Musk is, what are you doing by allowing this to happen? Your claim on free speech, he didn't know what it means. He didn't know what free speech means. And frankly, I think what you should do is sell Twitter back and put it back the way it was and just get out of the social platform thing, okay? He's already got the so-called boring company, which probably is boring. Hey, Carolyn! Miss you there. You snuck in. But it's really stupid. It really is. But there needs to be enforced peace in Israel and Palestine. Israel needs to be told that you need to, even though yes, you have a right to defend yourself, but you don't have, prior to all that, you have no right to go after Palestine. Because there was no excuse for it. Okay? And Netanyahu needs to be replaced. Okay? I remember Golda Meir. I don't know if any of you remember her back in the 70s. And she was one strong lady. Okay? She was the only prime minister that held a dual U.S.-Israeli citizenship. She was the first grade teacher that taught in, I think Chicago, or no, she taught in Minneapolis. She was a kindergarten / first grade teacher then, okay? And she ran a very, very tight ship. Well, when she gone back to Israel to help attend a family member, she was asked if she could be temporarily lead Israel on the consul. Well, she did, and then they elected her to be Israeli prime minister. She whipped the place in shape, okay? She did not want wars, ever. She really hated wars. She felt there was really no purpose in them. She said if there was a conflict, then we need to sit down and discuss the conflict. Discuss both sides where they're coming from. And then go for peace there. And of course, there's always some group, terrorist group or whatever, that they didn't want that. They want chaos all the time. And you know what the word chaos? You know who that reminds you of right now? The mega rats. And that's why I call them mega rats. Uh, they want chaos and they want this and that all the time. And it's their excuse of not really doing the real work. And they need to be, as I said before, they need to be given the boot. Uh, I don't like Scalise either, but I'm glad in some ways they picked Scalise for nominee. Now, one nominee I really like to see as Speaker of the House is Hakeem Jeffries. I don't care if they have the GOP has a slight minority. They can't do their job. They really can't. Okay. And I like to see Hakeem Jeffries be Speaker, and he'll whip the House in shape so fast it won't be even funny. Because he won't put up the crap with the crap and antics the GOP is doing. And you know what? They need to make a change on that. It should not be majority rules, minority rules thing on the House. They should pick the right person for the job. Yeah, well, you know what? I think the GOP, they're the one that are hindering their other co-workers, okay, their colleagues, especially across the aisle from doing their jobs, okay? And the GOP, they should get their pay docked. They should be denied a paycheck. And if they worked out in the real world, you want to happen in the real world? They find themselves fired. Okay? The GOP are doing dereliction of duty. And somebody says, well, they don't care. Well, yeah, by doing these antics now, they're digging themselves a deeper hole, because by elections next year, they're going to find themselves out on the door. And no longer, Megan won't have any power whatsoever. Because there's another thing you have to think about. You noticed every time Trump endorses a candidate, Republican candidate, and when he does, that candidate loses? Have you noticed that? And I find this really, really funny. Uh, so that's why Jordan lost. He should have not accepted Trump's endorsement. There was a talk last week of maybe having Trump as Speaker. Well, Trump is not a member of the House, okay? And they double checked the rules. They said, no, it has to be an elected member of the U.S. Congress. U.S. rep, it has to be, in order to be Speaker, and has to be there for a certain amount of time. So they said no. They don't want Trump in there. And Trump, the other thing too, there's a rule in there about that. Any member that has one or more felony charges, indictments, one or more indictments or felony charges are disqualified. Oh, speaking of indictments, you noticed what happened to, what's his name? He just got indicted this past few days. What's his name? Let's see. I forgot what his name was. But he was the one that was lying and everything to get elected, and he's the guy from New York. He just got indicted. And yes, the FBI can indict any member of Congress. They can arrest and indict them for them because they broke the law. He can do that. Somebody said, well, no, they can't. They're officers of Congress. I go, nope, they can't. Because they broke the law. Okay. Um, so anyway, we'll see how that goes too. Now, Trump lately has he's been digging himself a deeper and deeper hole. He is now in deeper trouble, and he's getting to the point where thank you, Nancy. Yeah, thank you. That was the name I was looking for. Thank you, Nancy. Um, yeah, he got indicted for three counts, 2 or 3 counts, something like that. For fraud, wire fraud, a number of other things, and voting manipulation, that type of thing. So he got in trouble for that. And there is a movement going on. I don't know if that's still going or not in his district in New York, recalling him. So, oh, he was convicted. Okay. Well, then they should kick him out of Congress. They need to kick him out. He should be forced to resign and kick him out and throw his ass in jail. So. Thank you, Virginia. I can only do so much on my screen here on my computer, so I don't have a double computer. What I should do is set up my laptop, and that way I could review what's going on there, but this gets irritable. So, let's see. Anything else? Anyway, Trump was trying all these things to delay the trials and everything else. It's not working. They're throwing out the motions. Many of the judges are throwing out the motions right and left, and it said, no, motion's denied to Trump every time he turns around. And they're really starting to hammering down the gag order. And you know what they really should do? As far as I'm concerned, Trump has lost all rights to anything, okay? He's a bully. He's a narcissist bully. And they should really gag him by throwing him in jail, putting him in solitary where no one could hear him. And gag him that way. And I don't care if it violates his so-called free speech rights on Trump. He doesn't know when to shut up. And his lawyers should be telling him to shut up. I mean, really be blunt. And if he whines and cries and go, well, so what? That's the way things are. The guy's never grown up. He never has. And Facebook, if you don't like what I'm saying about he who shall not be named, that's tough too. Because the truth needs to come out. We need to tell it like it is. And if people aren't sensitive about it, well, boo-hoo. I'm sure there are fine lines where you can or cannot say. Oh, good. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you. Good. I'm glad he's district attorney and smack him. Now, what about Fonnie Wells? Because she's still, where is she? New York. No, isn't her in New York. But, they also need to throw out Cannon out of the Florida courtroom down there, too. Love Circuit needs to replace her. They really do. Okay. Good. Well, keep me posted, Virginia. Anything else? Well, I'm just about ready to sign off. Let me check my calendar. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'll see you. Oh, this is going to be fun. You know this Friday will be the 13th. No, Friday the 13th. Uh, so I'll see you 1 o'clock on Friday. Um, I'm not superstitious, and I have a black cat, so he's doing good. I don't know where he is. Look, he's got a couple of favorite spots where he sleeps. He's not. He's not in here. I think he's sleeping either in the chair up there or in my bedroom. Um, so anyway, I will post this video on my YouTube channel. I need more members. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back and share. I don't mind you sharing my videos. I really don't. And if people don't like my videos, they don't have to subscribe. But I need subscribers on YouTube. I really do. So, I will see you guys later. I gotta finish my lunch. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you on Friday at 1 o'clock. And I'll also see you at John's meeting tomorrow night. Sorry I wasn't there last night. I had Bible study. So have a good night, everybody. Please stay safe. I love you all. And take care. Okay? Bye-bye.